Hey guys, Dookie Quasar MD here. I've been watching a lot of tournaments recently, and I've noticed that they've been talking about something that might confuse a lot of newer players, or something that a lot of new players might not understand, and that's counter picks and synergy, how to make picks that work well with your team, and how to make picks that counter the opposing team. So first, I'm just going to do a list of counter picks and synergy for various strength and intelligence heroes, basically any strength and intelligence hero in the game. And these are the strength and intelligence carries. First off, in the top left corner is Sven. He works well with Lion, Pudge, and Bane. Basically, these three picks, he has a short stun, but he has trouble catching up with people. So these three picks can keep someone still for long enough for Sven to finish them off. And then for people that he doesn't work so well against, Faceless Void, because Faceless Void does a good job of keeping him stunned, and he also can evade his attacks, just generally a good pick against certain carries. And Sniper and Drow do a good job kiting them across the map so that he can't do any real damage to them. So those are three people to look out for. Then is Kunkka. Kunkka works well with people that can hold people in place for his little tide spout and his ghost ship. So the three picks that I put for synergy for this guy are Shadow Demon and Shadow Shaman. They both have the ability to hold one person still for a limited amount of time. And the Naga Siren can hold their whole team still, so that's great for setting up a good ghost ship team fight. Then for people to counter him, Kunkka is countered by Huskar and Lifestealer because both of them can make short work of his high life total. And Razor because Razor can sap all of his damage. Then his free cleave is useless, he can't do any damage, he just kind of flounders during the team fight. Next up is Dragon Knight. People that work well with Dragon Knight, Enigma, Darkseer, Sven. He likes people that can keep everyone clustered close together because his third rank ultimate gives him AoE splash damage at a range, and he has an AoE cone attack that also is quite a bit of damage that he likes to be able to hit the entire team with. Then for people that counter him, Lifestealer and Huskar, as they counter most strength heroes, and Dazzle. Dazzle's just a good counter for him. Huskar's up next. Huskar works very well with Dazzle. Dazzle can cast Shallow Grave on Huskar, which keeps him from dropping below 1 hit point, and Huskar does more damage the lower his health is. Also, Tidehunter and Enigma work well with him because they can follow up on his initiation and keep him from dying during the team fight. Then for people that counter him, Lion, Lena, Necrolite. They all have a huge damage ultimate that can kill him, take him from like half health to no health, so he can't take the full effect of his ability that gives him increased damage for having lower health. For people that synergize well with Alchemist, Crystal Maiden. She has a stun and a slow, lets him get a kill pretty early on in the game. Then Dazzle and Warlock work well with him because he gets increased armor from Dazzle. Warlock has an AoE stun. Both of them also have heals, and Alchemist really likes to farm in lane. The less he has to go back, the better. Then people that work well against him, Necrolite. As soon as he drops below half health, as soon as he drops out of his ultimate and is at half health, ultimate, Necrolite kills him. Lifestealer, similar reasons. His ultimate gives him increased health regen. Necrolite's able to eat through that pretty quickly. And Ursa is just an overall good skirmisher, just like Alchemist, but Ursa has a slight edge, so you can't really skirmish well against an Ursa. Next up is Brewmaster. Brewmaster works well with Alchemist, Dazzle, and Veno. They're all good for trapping people, getting kills early on, and slowing people down so that he can hit his Thunderclap. Crystal Maiden will also keep his mana topped off. Dazzle will keep his health topped off, and Vena will keep the enemy carry from farming in the lane. Then for people that counter him really well, Doom counters him because Doom will keep him from casting his ultimate. Ricky works really well because Ricky will also keep him from casting his ultimate, and Lifestealer again will eat through his health very quickly. Next up is Slardar. Slardar likes to be able to sit back and farm, and supports that can keep the enemy carry and the enemy support from harassing him work very well. So supports like Zeus, Lion, and Lich. Unfortunately, he's also very harassable, so Zeus and Lion are good counter picks. Shadow Shaman is a good counter pick, just because he can keep him tied down. Next up is Skeleton King. Skeleton King is very strong because it's an ultimate that works just like Aegis of Immortality. He can come back after he's killed. But it costs mana, so he's countered by 3 of the characters with the strongest mana drains. And then he's supported by Crystal Maiden, who keeps his mana up. Lion and Jacro keep people stunned, so lets him go in. Just a small little help for his initiation. For Lifestealer Synergies, I picked people that can carry him into a team fight very easily. Quap and Storm Spirit both have short-range dash-type dashes or blinks, and Ricky can carry him around the map invisibly. There's other people that synergize well with him, like Nature's Prophet, anybody that can move around the map. Spirit Breaker, Nyx, and then people that work really well against him are Bane and Beastmaster, because their ultimates penetrate his magic immunity, and Phantom Lancer, because Phantom Lancer makes clones of himself, and Lifestealer doesn't really have any AoE to cope with those clones. Next up is Doombringer. Doom works really well with magic nukers, so Pugna, Nyx, Lion. He works especially well with Pugna because Pugna can amplify magic damage, so level ? Death, plus the magic amp, plus Pugna's Q, you generally have someone dead in the lane. People that work well against him, Outworld Destroyer. He has a very low int score. Outworld Destroyer can keep him from just kill him instantly outright at the start of a team fight. Silencer as well. Silencer has a silence, so you can keep him from casting Doom at the start of a team fight. And he has a mana drain, and Outworld Destroyer has an intelligence drain, and that low int score, he won't have the mana to cast his abilities in lane. Lifestealer cuts through his health very quickly, as Lifestealer is apt to do. Next up is Spirit Breaker. Spirit Breaker works very well with Wisp. Wisp can charge him and allow him to attack faster and take less damage. Works very well because Spirit Breaker has a bash. And then Omni keeps him healed up fighting in lane, and once he does a short-range charge in the lane to go in for a kill, Omni can do his little healing wave to deal damage. And Dazzle has a slow, and a stun, and a heal, so he's just good for keeping up in lane. Rubik's a good counter for him. If Rubik targets him for spell steal, he's always stealing a good spell, and that's generally you want to keep your distance from a Rubik unless he's stunned or silenced, so that he can't steal your spell. If he steals your ultimate, the team fight's going to go in a bad direction for you. Phantom Lancer, he doesn't have the ability to cope with illusions, and Lifestealer counters strength carries. It's just the way Lifestealer works. Lycan. Lycan has kind of taken a hit recently. He had been nerfed. People that he synergizes with well, though, are people that increase their team's attack speed or attack damage, because he also increases attack speed and attack damage, so he works very well with that. People that counter him, Axe counters his wolves. Ricky counters him by ganking him in the jungle, and Lich counters him with his ultimate. Of course, if you level your wolves up all the way, and you get the invisible wolves, that kind of keeps you from being countered by liches easily. Chaos Knight is next up. He synergizes well with people that have a stun. He likes to keep people stunned in lane. He has a gap closer, so he can help people hit those hard-to-hit stuns. He's very mana dependent, though, and he's dependent on getting his ult off. So Nyx and Anti-Mage can drain his mana before he can use his ultimate, and Doom can cast Doom on him, which is a silence, which will keep him from using his ultimate. Next up is Magnus. Magnus likes everyone stacked up closely together, so he goes well with heroes that also like everybody stacked up closely together, or can stack people up closely together. Sven, Darkseer, and Lich. Lich's ult followed, or reverse polarity followed by Lich's ult, rather, is a very good way to win a team fight very easily. This is another hero, though, who has a very powerful ability, and if Rubik gets a hold of it, it can mean the end for you in an otherwise good engagement. Ricky can counter him by just dropping his mist, keeping him from using his abilities. And Jackaro's stun works very well against him. Next up, we have Storm Spirit. Storm Spirit also has AoE attacks, so he likes people that like AoE attacks. Dark Sphere and Sven again. Slark right here has an AoE stun. It's a small little radius, but if you can keep everybody grouped up together, and Storm Spirit can help him land it with his little pool, it helps Slark do better in lane, and therefore helps Storm Spirit do better in lane. Generally, though, you would like to have Storm Spirit mid. People that work really well against him, Doom, cast Doom on Storm Spirit, he can't dash around anymore. Silencer, same thing, and he's very mana dependent, so Nyx. Next up is Nature's Prophet. We're on to the intelligence carries. He works well with people that generate terrain, so Earthshaker and Tusk. If you can generate terrain properly, and generate the right terrain in the right places, you can keep their team separated enough so that you don't have to worry during a team fight. If you can keep them separated, you can easily dominate a team fight. He can also carry Lifestealer around with his teleport, so he really likes Lifestealer. Things that counter him, wards. Warding his jungle to keep the creeps from respawning in the jungle, the creep camps. It's a great way to counter him, great way to keep him from getting too fed. Ricky and Bounty can gank him in the jungle, and he's probably somewhat lower on health than he would be when he was in lane. So, great way to keep him from getting too fed, and to get a little bit of gold for your stealth carries. Next up is Silencer. He synergizes well with Troll Warlord and Beastmaster because he has a unique attack modifier that increases his damage based on a percentage of his intelligence. These two guys increase attack speed, so it lets him get in more attacks. He's an int hero, so he doesn't have high agility gains, and therefore doesn't gain a lot of attack speed with each level. He also likes Enigma, because Enigma keeps everybody grouped up and stunned, for him to be able to start picking people off. He has no ability to deal with illusions whatsoever, so Phantom Lancer is a decent counter. He also likes mana, so Nyx is a good counter. And if you can gank him early with someone like Night Stalker, you can keep him from farming, you can keep him from getting fed. Next up is Queen of Pain. She synergizes well with Lifestealer because she can blink him into a fight. And she synergizes well with people that get everyone grouped closely together, like Enigma, or Tidehunter, because Tidehunter keeps everybody stunned during an engagement, lets her line up a good ultimate. Her ultimate is a large AoE nuke. She's countered by Silencer. Silencer keeps her silenced, keeps her from casting her ability. She's very ability dependent. One of the most ability dependent carries. The most independent ability dependent carry is up next. But she's also countered by Bloodseeker because she can't blink then, and Doom because then she can't cast abilities. As I said, the most ability dependent carry, Invoker. He's more of a soft carry, but he's still a carry. He works well with Enigma. Enigma keeps everybody grouped up together for a lovely Chaos Meteor that will destroy their team. He also has an attack speed and damage buff, so he goes very well with the people that like their attack speed increased, namely Silencer and Outworld Destroyer. People that counter him are two people that counter him mid. Those people are Pudge and Templar Assassin. If you can keep him from farming up mid, you can keep him, from doing much late game. And then Silencer keeps him from gaining new invoke abilities and casting the abilities that he has invoked. And last for this little guide will be Outworld Destroyer. He works very well with Beastmaster and Troll Warlord. And then he also works very well with Tidehunter. Tidehunter can keep everybody stunned, and then a very good ult that hits a lot of characters that can cause you to win the team fight immediately. People that counter him, people that have silences, Doom and Silencer, that keeps him from using his unique attack modifier, and Pugna. Thanks for watching, guys. If you'd like your own version of this guide, or this little chart, I'll be posting some to various image boards sometime soon. If you see one, save one. Thanks for watching, guys, and enjoy playing Dota.